Welcome back to another episode of a very basic space program. This is episode 18. In the last episode, I failed. There was a whole world of failure. I stopped the episode at the end there because I failed. You can see here I have the craft that we are calling Failure 1. This is Failure 1. It's not entirely a failure. It's actually going to get us some science. It's going to get the science that we actually failed to collect. Ooh. That is not a pretty thing that we failed to get at in our other launches prior to this. So it's going to get us, if we bring this up, it's going to get us cosmic ray, it's going to get us mass spec, it's going to get us micrometeorite and things like that, which is positive. There's some science that we need to get, but we're going to fix it this time. We're going to do this one. We're going to get this one up there. This does not happen to us again. This does not happen. We are going to succeed. So let's go and do it. Please join me. Right, so we're looking at our craft from last time. First of all, let's change this to the 6, and then we're going to we're gonna change this as well because that's wrong. So where is it? Set text to the 6. Okay, close that. Wonderful. And that text has vanished. Oh, brilliant. That will come back when we load it, I'm sure. If not, it's not going to have a name on it. Right. So what are we going to do to this? Well, the first thing to do is I want to put a kick stage on here, is what I actually want to do. Because we can orientate, and then we want to kick this. And we can now roll, which means I can spin stabilize things. There's a plan for that for the future. So I want to put a kick stage on. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to, and this is something I've started doing elsewhere, but we're going to take one of these hollow decouplers and we're going to make it quite small. There we go, like that. And we don't want it to be too tall. There we go. And what we can actually do is we can color it. Do I want to color it? Let's make it just white. There we go, so we can see it more clearly. There we go. Right, I want to put just a little tank on there. Where are we? Get myself a little integral tank. And I want it to be pressurized, and we're going to make it into a fillet cylinder. There we go. Now this is unguided, so I'm just going to stick an engine on, and guess what? We're going to use one of the Aerobees, but we're going to upgrade them, I think. Do I have an upgraded one? I do not, but it's going to cost me 15 funds to get the upgraded one. Oof, that's terrible. What's the fuel efficiency like? 331. I think this one is actually the better one. It has the more fuel efficiency, so that's the one we're going to go for. We're going to fill this tank. There we go. We do not need all of that. Whoa, that's a lot for 1 minute. What I actually want is, I just want to... you know what? We're not going fillet cylinder. We're going to go... There we go. Hollow cylinder. Because I can. There we go, yes. Do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to... let's have a look. The inner dimensions, we want to take that down to there. We want the fillet to be as big as possible, and then I want to probably take that down a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. And we'll recess this engine inside there when we're ready, like that. So we'll do that, and then we'll take those to foil. Right, so this is, I don't need that much. How much do I need actually? Ooh, now there is a thought. I was actually thinking of changing the whole craft, but as long as we launch to an apoapsis, if we have an apoapsis that's 800 or 900 or 1000, then boost with that would not be a problem, would it? So we're actually going to do a flip reverse. So normally your apoapsis becomes your periapsis. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an apoapsis that's going to become our periapsis, and then our new apoapsis is going to be our new future periapsis. Does that make any sense? You're going to see in a minute when I actually do it, I think. So this is the other way of doing it. Right, so what we're going to try and do is launch and get an apoapsis that's over the distance we need, and we're going to spin around and fire this thing. And you know what? We could just go crazy with it. How much does this weigh? How much does that weigh? Too much. We're going to actually lower it a little bit. We're just going to bring it down to, well, actually I couldn't burn that far anyway. About there. Now I think it was about I think we're looking at about 700. So is that going to be enough? I think it's going to have to be. Right. So we'll put that there. This is going to be recessed because we can. Pop that up there like so. Oh, Doesn't that look cool? Doesn't that look cool? Although actually, you know what? It could go smaller. It could go a little bit smaller, but not that much smaller. Just yeah, I'm getting into the prettying again. I've got to stop doing the prettying thing. There we go. Little donut situation going on there. How wonderful. And then what we could actually do is just make this a little smaller as well. There we go. Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? Little tiny thing. So what we'll do is we'll spin up, fire that, do that, done this, sorted, wonderful, bring, bang. Right, I think that's that craft ready. I think that is that craft ready. We could actually even have this not decouple, thinking about it. We don't even need this decoupler, do we? This could just go on the bottom because we don't need to decouple it. We could actually lose that. We could stick this on the bottom like that. There we go. That looks so much better. Spinny, done, wonderful, perfect. Right, there's our new satellite. Now what I was going to say is we also have, if I bring this over, and I actually need to check what's our mass allowance. 5.5. Right, let's try doing something I shouldn't do, which is take that off there. What's our mass? 5.58. Oh dear. 5.0. Let's make this 6. Let's make this 6 for the sake of 6. There we go. Let's make that 300. Reduce it. Take that to 0. Apply that change. Thank you very much. Right, and now that's 558. Okay. Now this can come back up to here. There we go. Check everything's in the right place. That goes. Those come off. Those fire. Then we got that and that going. Okay. All right. The other thing I was thinking was, what can we do to get this launch better? Now, the obvious thing, and the one I'm going to do, I think, is some solids. We're going to stick some solids on there. However, the pad max is close at the moment. So let's actually look what solids do we have. Size is a good way of doing it. Nope, that's not it. I want that one. Right, we have casters, but a caster is 4 tons. So if I stick a caster on there, it's 2 tons over. If I drop down its fuel, I basically get it down to what? Pretty much empty. It's pretty much empty because of the mass of the casing, which gives us a lovely thrust of 12 meters per second, but at the start. But it's for 2 seconds is just not worth it. So the caster's out at the moment. We don't really have anything else yet. I think what we're going to look at is getting that pad upgraded, and then we can actually stick some casters on the side of here as additional augmenting thrust for it, and that is probably what we're going to end up using for our lunar missions. We're probably going to adapt for that for our lunar missions. All right, what did I set that to? I set that to 5.0. Okay, so that's going to be okay for the future anyway. It's going to cover us for anything that's pretty much on the top of there. It's up to an extra half a ton, something like that. Right. So I think that's that ready. We're going to save it. I'm going to tool some tanks. Let's actually have a look. What's that going to cost us to tool? What's that take it down to? It does absolutely nothing to the... Oh no, it does. Very slow. The computer is playing very slow right now. There we go. Come on. There we go. We're going to tool those. So I'm going to tool this, and then I'm going to save it, build it, and I will see you back on the main screen. It's night time at the Cape. We've got our vessel building. I've actually cancelled the J104 solar satellite because it's changing the probe on the top or anything is actually going to just zero it out anyway, so we might as well get rid of it. It was in the way, so J104 never happened, interestingly. Right. Hi Jean, thank you very much. I am tempted to take another mission. I'm very tempted to have a look at the lunar flyby at least. You got to fly by the moon within 5,000 kilometers. It's tight. I think it's possible though, and I think it's possible unguided, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to have a think about that. It does give you a nice advance. The impactor equally, potentially we could do, but I need to check something. The orbiter would be a really interesting little challenge to do, and I think that is a possibility, but I'm not sure. So we need to wait until we actually get some additional science done. So what I'm actually waiting on for those is, I think it's done. Has it finished? It has, so we actually could. So we've now got Avionics probes. So, I forgot you need to buy these in here. That's why it wasn't. I was wondering why our Avionics wasn't upgradable, but I believe it's because you need to actually sometimes do this, don't you? You need to actually buy them as you go. Okay. We've got all that science done. We've got the range done, so we can do that. We can do that. Make sure that's done. Yeah, I'll pay for that. And I don't. Do I need the communitron? We'll get the communitron anyway. Right. We've got a bit more science. What to spend it on? We were going to go this route. However, I'm also now thinking, do I want to go... Ooh, that would be nice. A little bit of British engine there. No, keep away from those sea monsters. You've done enough of those. Where is the... It's not in this, is it? Is it in the next one? I'm looking for the upgrade of our top engine, our upper engine. Oh, now that's an interesting engine. There we are. That's the one I want. That's the upgrade. That there is the upgrade that I'd quite like. However, there's also, have we got a... Yeah, that is a nice engine as well. That is an engine that I would like to do something with. Semi-cryogenic upstage engine, originally designed for the upstage of the R7. Decent thrust, decent this, that, the other. I believe was one of... Yeah, the second version actually has 2 ignitions, which becomes really useful. So that's an engine that we may want to look at, because being able to actually control or start a launch to the moon or something like that, with that would be absolutely priceless. However, crew survivability is also important. I think we're going to go entry, descent and landing. Get some heat shields, then we can do sample returns. We can put some cameras up and return film and get stuff like that going, which we can do, I think, with this craft. I think this craft will be able to do that, so we'll do that. We can maybe run those. And how much they cost? They cost an exorbitant amount of money, but that's fine. Right, so let me fast forward to this. It's going to be well into 59 before we get this one ready. But I suppose you have to wait, don't you? You have to do that. So let's get that going. Oh, yes, I get it's out of electricity. How very exciting. Yeah, science is coming in. Note to self, turn off those notifications. Right, we now have a tracking station done, and we've got an upgrade, so we're actually going to put that upgrade into... I want to put it into R&D, but we're actually catching up on our R&D, so we're actually going to put it into the VAB. We're going to put it in the VAB now, because that is actually slowing us down these launches. We've had Carl Hall retire. We're waiting for the final retirement. You'll notice we're running out of funds right now. This is going to be problematic. So if this does not work, we have a problem. Oh, we got more upgrades. All right, well, we'll put another one in the VAB then. Oh, thank you. All right, completely useless putting in the VAB because we're about to launch craft and we don't have any money. Right, let us hope that this works. Here we are on the launch pad again. Well, actually, it's not again. We're on the launch pad with this rocket again, sort of, because it's the... Anyway, you get the idea from the last episode. So here we are. We do our usual check. Yes, we have everything we're supposed to have. We've set our heading a little bit off to give ourselves inclination. We can see on here we've got, in fact, you know what, let's just look at that there. 11,481. I didn't stumble over my words at all there. Let's just launch this rocket. Let's get this going. And there we go. Right. So, note to self. You will see that we have a lot of extra delta V. That's because of our kick stage. However, that second stage has actually lost a lot of delta V because of it. What is going on? Why is my... What? Why is that fire? Oh, because it's re-straightening itself. Okay, I get it. Right. Okay, I see. We've got the side thruster doing that thing to try and straighten it up. Okay, very clever. Right. I hadn't noticed that before. That's interesting. So we've just burned a hole in our boat tail for no apparent reason, obviously. Why does it look as though there's something sticking out of the boat tail there? Interesting. I need to have a look at that once we're on orbit or at least at high speed. So what we're going to actually try and be aiming to do is to get an orbit with an apoapse of over 1,000 meters, 1,000 kilometers. That's our aim for this first part of the launch. Then we're going to basically unveil or use our new kick stage, and that's going to be doing the extra bit of work for us. But we need to basically get into orbit first. The last launch wasn't a great launch because we actually started to dip down, and that cost us a bit of energy. It cost us a bit of delta V, in fact, in reality. We started to dip down. Some engines like Centaur will actually do that. They'll actually go higher than they need to from the booster, and then because they burn for so long, they'll let themselves dip. But they do that because it's still really efficient for a hydrogen hydrolox engine, because they've got such high specific impulse to actually do that. It's got low thrust. It still works out okay. We actually have a reasonable thrust on this, so we shouldn't actually have to do that. And our craft is actually designed not to need to do that. So doing that actually costs a bit of delta V. However, by adding this extra kick stage on the top now, we really need to perfect this launch. We should have delta V to spare for it. But again, this first stage is hampering us. It's not low in delta V, it's just low in thrust. It's a low thrust first stage that we really need to work on. And we'll improve that. We'll probably look at, I think some casters. I think some casters to give it that bump away from the launch pad. I think that would actually change this craft dramatically. I think we'd probably see a massive boost in payload to low Earth orbit, and I think it's going to make it a much more usable craft. And that's partly the way the craft was designed. So comments in past episodes about why is the craft designed the way it is, it's not the most optimal. Yeah, you're right, it isn't. It's actually designed for the future. It's designed for the first few launches of other things. It's designed to really to allow us to get to other sort of points a bit more efficiently. Actually, it's so I don't have to change everything up. I'm trying to, although I'm not doing a speed run. What is that? Oh, that's the exhaust sticking out. It doesn't normally stick out like that. Although I'm not doing a speed run, I'm trying to do a minimal sort of tooling run. I'm trying to not have 15 different types of rockets, and that's something I started with the British series, where I tried to basically reuse significantly. I think we had about 4 versions of the Red Princess, or 5 versions of the Red Princess, and then we had 2 versions of the Trident, and then 1 version or 2 versions of the Blue Knight, and then there's 1 more coming. But that was about it. That's been the craft developed so far, and the amount of tooling on that program is actually really limited, and it's actually been a massive bonus to the series that it's just not needed a lot of tooling ever. So let's have a look. Let's check those are okay. Let me have a look. It says everything's okay, so it's okay. Now, does this have pressure? It does have pressure, so we know it's probably high pressure. That's good. Right. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually turn those off, just in case anything starts stealing pressurant from them or anything like that. Right. Because I'm always paranoid about that with these engines. If this engine fails, this program is in big financial concern. It will be a massive financial concern if we lose engine on this one. Right, we're now at about there, so we can just pull this up to about there. There we go, that's fine. And I'm going to actually speed this up a little bit, because we don't need to worry too much about this bit. We're just hoping it's going to get there. It's going to be a long burn. It's a 5-minute burn, this one, to basically get onto orbit, so we can speed up 3 times, and it takes only a minute then to get up there. And then we can get to the bit that we really want to get to. Now, we have upgraded the tracking station, so the signal should be better, although we've also, I think, upgraded sort of transmitter tech on craft, but we haven't on this version. This was after, or introduced after that happened, so yeah, we have to look at that now. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of angle on us, just to keep us above dipping too much, or if we do, not have it go on for too long. And I'm going to look at these values here. I want us to not drop too far. Ideally, we want to try and keep as much of this possible, because it's going to help at this stage with its final sort of push. But we will see. We will see. Right. Where are we? What are we doing? This is accelerating a little bit. We'll go down to normal speed, and then we're going to 0 it. And now we're ready, and we want to go up to an apoapse of 1,000. Apoapse of 1,000 is what I'm aiming for. So we'll get the mouse off there, because it will play silly if I don't do that. And there we go. Right, we've gone well over it, but that's okay. So next, put this back there instead of dragging it. We're going to turn that off. We're going to put orbit onto prograde. Right, now let's look on the map. So that's our periapse, our lowest point, which we haven't met yet. That's interesting. I suppose we were going, okay. So we now need to find our apoapse, which is over there. We can actually knock off all these things. Oh, because we've got the tracking station update, I can now see a blue line, although I can't make maneuver nodes, I don't think. Okay, I can't make maneuver nodes, but I can now see a blue line. That's really helped me. And it tells me my actual altitudes there instead of having to use this thing, that was a bit cheaty actually, using that when this wasn't available. I must look back and see if that was the case. So 49 minutes. We're going to have more than enough battery life for that, I think. Where's my battery life, please? Yeah, we've got 3. Oh, it's gone. Right, so it's got 2 hours and something at least. Liquid oxygen. Oh, I need to dump stuff, don't I? Do I need to? I don't actually need to. We could just leave it. Right. Bring up this because this is important. Right, and we're going to speed up our time a little bit. Not too much. Don't want to go past something. We're looking at this time here. I'm going to try and pull out about a minute before, 2 minutes before, something like that. We need to unlock some tanks. That's going to be one of these is going to be our station for launch, isn't it? 5, 4, 3, 2. There we go. We'll pull it there. There we go. 2 minutes. Right. Why are we spinning? Oh, would help if we activated the RCS. There we go. Let the RCS fix the situation. And while it's doing that, we can have a look at this. This can go here. Right. Oh, what a lovely skybox there. Lovely skybox. Right. Our apoapse is going to become our periapse, so that's okay. What are we doing? Orbital prograde. What is going on? Why are you spinning? Why is there a spin? What is... Is there a glitch? This is speeding up. Right. So, I think we have a glitch there. I'm going to save this. How long have I got? I've got a minute. I'm going to save this and reload it. So I will be right back. Right. We have loaded back in. Is it able to control my spin? That is the question. It seems to be slowing down. It seems to be slowing down. Prograde. I think we've got it right. So if you have a problem like that in future, remember, turn off the engine would be a good idea. Remember to basically give yourself a go at doing that. Let it reset, let it save and restart. One of the reasons with I would never have a no save game is because of things like that. That would have been an end of mission. So we're gonna fire the RCS. We're gonna start a roll, and the roll's gonna be really slow to start. We're gonna start this engine at 13 seconds is where I'm gonna start it. Right, we're ready. Throttle is on max, and fire. There we go. Okay, we're going. We're going to also get ready to cut the engine if it goes too high. Bring up this because this has vanished. Right, when it gets to the right altitude, we're going to cut it. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, we got it, and we'll just... In fact, we're going to keep going. Let's keep going and just see how far this thing will go. There we go. Okay, so it went to almost 9. How far is that out in reality? Not very far. But yeah, okay, communications satellite done. Let's run this along. Let's got a vessel complete. Yeah, I know the vessel's complete, thank you. Right, mission. Okay, we're just gonna let it tick through on the dark side. Isn't that terrible? The vision's a nightmare of that. Superb, done. Right, let's pull it round to the light side so we can actually look at it properly. It's spinning. Yes, look at that. Now, what I would say is I'm trying to keep this save reasonably up to date. I haven't updated RP-1 as of just before the start of October. I haven't updated it since about 2 weeks ago. So it's not, I think it's probably as updated as the release versions are. One of the things we've got rid of is persistent rotation. Persistent rotation is now sort of built into RP-1, I believe, or their version of it. And I was hoping that was going to stop some of the glitches which I have found with the British series. The British series has got a number of glitches to do with, I think, linked with persistent rotation and things like that, and possibly something else, but it's having a lot of glitches at the moment, which anyway, yeah, it's not entirely brilliant to watch. So, first communication satellite is done. Superb. You are not failure, are you? No, you are not. We're going to rename you because you are not failure. So let's have a look. Where are we? Rename vessel. You are just going to be first communication satellite. There we go. And you are, I don't know. I really don't know what you are. Anyway, there you go. Sorted. Right. With that done, we're not getting any science from you. How much have I got from it? 44,000. That seriously? For all of that, I've got 40. That's just, you know what? You cheap. Right, let's get back to the Space Center and decide what our next mission is going to be. So I will see you back there once we have a little look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's superb. Absolutely beautiful. Finally finished that mission. Absolutely superb. Right, let's get back to the Space Center and actually have a look at what we might do next time. Right, so that mission is over. We have launched our first communication satellite. We are on 46,000 funds, which is not much. So, missions. Let's have a look. We have active missions. These are just the standard sort of landmark ones. I think we're going to look at Lunar. We've now we've launched our first communication satellite, which has opened up communications test satellite, which pretty much gives us a little bit less than that one, and we can complete this with the craft we've just done. We could actually just keep doing these. It has a cooldown period of 60 days, so you've got to wait 60 days, but if you get your build rate up, you could just keep knocking these out. They are unlimited, and it keeps track of them, and they get harder each time, I believe. I think you get more payload and higher orbits and things like that each time, so they do get more difficult. But if we actually have a look, what is the future for our communications stuff? So let's actually look down here. We've got all of our different contracts. We can actually look. You've got early satellite contracts. Have a look at that. Early satellite contracts. We've done first communication satellite. We've done it so it's not going to show up anymore. That has led to this communications test satellite. That's now open to us. Why would we do that? Because if we look down here at early communications network 3 or 4, both of them require you've got to complete that test satellite contract twice, and then it opens them up, and they are good for you. They're going to give you communications network of some sort. That's useful. You've also got commercial communications satellite here, which you open up when you've completed that. You can't have completed any of these things yet either. If you've done any of those, it will cancel it. So it's one of those things you can get done early on. And you can actually look at this to sort of plan out where you're going. This is what I'm trying to say to you. If you want to do, a comms net, well, if somebody wants to pay me to put a comms net up, how am I going to get to that? I'm going to do those contracts to get there. So don't just think that these contracts are dead end. They actually have a pathway to go somewhere. And we can look at those in the future. But I think what I really want to look at is, I think we want to do some lunar flybys. So I'm going to select a lunar flyby. It's got to be within 500 kilometers. I'm tempted to go impactor as well. So what I will do is, next episode, we're going to look at getting that pad finished, and then we're going to put together a craft that hopefully can actually do this this lunar flyby or impactor mission. And I think it's going to be a modification of the Javelin. I think it's still going to be the Javelin 3. We're just going to modify it to another version. So from me, until next episode, have a great one.